I don't know. Yeah, you look a little choppy. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, July 30th, 2024. We're having some technical issues, but I think we're fine now. Chris, just don't move or talk, and then we're fine. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you are watching The Big Show, Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. You know what today is?
I don't know. It's Tuesday.
It is. International Day of Friendship.
Oh, well, that's us.
So on that note, I want to say thank you for our friendship. I've known you for, I don't know, 8 years-ish or so, not just for the show, but personally as well. So I want to say thank you for our friendship.
Well, same back to you. So we've known each other for 190 some episodes.
Yeah, right. And then the professional side, this is our 196th episode. Yeah. So, Dirk, we have a 9 o'clock cutoff time today, so at 8:55 you could throw that in. We're specifically looking for some weather for Spooner tomorrow because there's a golf outing.
I need to know about weather tonight, too. There's a big race at the racetrack tonight, the Little Dream Race. It's a huge race, and so I need to know if it's going to rain.
There you go, Dirk. You got your objective.
That's right. Tonight, tomorrow at noon. What is tomorrow? What time do we start tomorrow?
Noon. We'll get out of that in a little while. The golf stuff.
Well, I didn't know.
It's at the shot. It starts at 1, but then like lunch and everything is like at noon. So get there at like 12:30.
All right, I gotta fix this. I don't know what's wrong. I'm blurry. I don't like it. Everything's off. I'm gonna get back out and get back in.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, I'll wait for me.
All right. We're waiting. Hey, International Day of Friendship. Where's the International Day of Friendship was designated by the United Nations General Assembly on July 30th. We step back and get thankful for these relationships worldwide. Oh, maybe it's like saying thank you to, I don't know, Turkey or something. Maybe it's not like actual to friends. As they promote and encourage peace, happiness, and unity. All right, maybe that's what it was. All right. You better now?
I don't know. Hopefully it's better.
It's fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a little slow, my whole computer. So I don't think it's the signal. I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the heat. I don't know.
It's the heat. It could be.
Yeah. It's the Olympics. They're causing it.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of the Olympics, and we already got some positivity out of the way right away by saying, friendship thing. Good morning, Representative Gabe Agnefici. Let's get into some negativity here to kind of balance the show out a little bit. Speaking of Olympics.
We don't do negative.
Yeah, there's some sports that should not be Olympic sports. And I've watched that really shouldn't. And you're not. We're going to disagree on this. I know we're going to disagree on this. Well, first of all, you're a Democrat. You're inclusive. You want everybody to be in those sports.
I'm for everyone.
I know. But I've watched like water polo, which holy cow, that is legit. That looks very difficult. Field hockey makes my back hurt just watching it, but that's incredible.
Rugby. I watched some rugby last night.
Oh my god, I don't understand that sport.
Neither do I. I can't follow the rules at all.
No.
I don't know. I got to know the rules to rugby.
Jerusha, we were watching that last night, and Jerusha said this is like hockey, football, and MMA, or like UFC. Like, I don't get what's going on right now.
They have to hike it under. I don't get it. Rugby at all. So.
Yeah. Breakdancing. Wait, that's what they should do. I think that's what. Wait, that's not an Olympic sport. Well, that one, it would be. So here's it. There's 2 sports so far that I think that shouldn't be Olympic sports. Okay. Basketball and tennis.
No.
I knew you were going to say that. But hear me out. These are sports that's your career and you get paid a lot of money. They have their own leagues, their own unions, their own everything. So therefore, they don't really take it seriously. Like, I want to see the sports that are like these are the people that they don't get paid to do it. They get sponsors and advertising. Wait, that is an Olympic sport? All right, again, that's awesome. Love that. We should absolutely have breakdancing.
That's not a sport. I mean, it is, but it's not because it
No,
takes
but it
talent
totally
to do.
should be. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, those I want to see. I want to see Olympic sport of how many grand pianos can we hurl into a third-story building, right? Like, I want to see that stuff. I want to see weightlifting and all the other sports. That there isn't a league for these things. This isn't a career. Most of these people in Olympics, they have like actual jobs. They work at Home Depot, right? And they get sponsorships to go to some nationals here and there. But tennis already is their own sport. They already get paid millions of dollars. So is basketball. Basketball is not an Olympic sport. Now, I love that it's in there and I watch it, but it's not an Olympic sport.
No. Basketball, wasn't it so awesome to watch USA basketball with all those players? And they were playing against other NBA players because other countries let their NBA players play. It's just that they're good at it. And we're very good at that. So
I used to
I know
breakdance.
we're bringing. Did you know that the Olympic sport in 4 years is going to be flag football?
I would totally. I love that. Yep.
Now are they going to delay training camps so NFL players can play flag football? No way.
I don't know.
They don't delay.
I don't know. No. If the whole goal is to win an Olympic medal, that is why you train so hard. That is the top. That's an Olympic sport. But basketball players, that's not the goal. It isn't. It just isn't. Same with tennis. It's not to win the gold. I'm just saying these are not Olympic sports. I'm glad they're in. I will watch them. But they're just not.
What about, do you think they should have taken baseball out? I mean, that's the American.
Baseball's in there? That should not be in there.
No, they took it out.
Good. Good. It shouldn't be an Olympic sport. That's not an Olympic sport. Sorry, that's just the way I feel about it.
Yeah. So, what about like handball? No, I don't agree at all. I think they should be, but handball. I don't understand some of these like badminton and handball. I watched those both last
badminton
night.
Is so much fun to watch. Like you hit that thing as hard as you can, it goes 6 feet.
but it just goes back and forth, back and forth. No one ever scores a point.
I know. And beach volleyball, that's been fun to watch. No, it's been great. Absolutely great. Yeah, I just did tell you how I feel, Dirk. Events like figure skating, you have to be amateur status. Yeah, agree, Amber. See, right. I think we get a little more support here.
Well,
average people versus Olympic athletes, just for reference. Like you and I should just do some of these. That's great. That's brilliant, Heather.
Like Gay said, she wants to see us do breakdancing. I used to breakdance, so I could probably.
Did you really? I tried. Kind of find out I wasn't very good.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it either. So
I remember seeing like a music video once, and there's a breakdancer, and he was on a piece of cardboard, and he stood on his head and spun. So I tried that. And that did not end well for Ben. And that was the end of my breakdancing career. Yep.
Yeah. I'm just trying to fix my computer again because I'm blurry.
Yeah, it looks like it's just going to be that way. It is what it is.
It is going to be that way today.
So you were gone recently, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you were gone. Where did you go?
I went to Milwaukee for some training.
Like how to be a sheriff?
No, like I was teaching the training actually for the first time in a long time.
What? So, let's get to that. We'll do that in 15 seconds after word from Spooner Health.
Spooner Health, compassion is at the center of everything we do. It's rooted in who we are and why we're here. It unites us as providers, neighbors, and as a community. Learn more at spoonerhealth.com.
So my dad just chimed in. High-speed pursuit should be an Olympic sport. That was something. I'd watch that.
Yeah, see? We could come up with some good Olympic sports, but I don't know about this. What about skateboarding?
Hold on. Let's go back to high-speed pursuit. Isn't that the, what do you call it? I used to do it on Grand Theft Auto, but there's like an official word for it, like a pit?
Pit maneuver. No, that's a pit maneuver when you pit somebody.
And for people who don't know what that is, explain that.
Pursuit intervention technique, where how we hit you in the back end and spin you around to stop a pursuit.
Yes. I would like to see that, like how many times you get more points by how many times you spin the car. And you get knocked points if the person dies.
No, that's it again. We have rules we have to follow. So we can't.
That'd be a good sport. All right, so tell us about your trip. So you went down. Was this scheduled that you had to leave?
Was scheduled. I've been working with the DOJ on some courses, and we went down and taught at Milwaukee Police Department yesterday on some basic leadership things. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy that part of it. And I've taught another portion of this. I go again Friday to teach about major cases and how I dealt with major cases. I teach this with another guy from the West Dallas Police Department. Branches out, you get to know him. I actually was down there visiting with him yesterday, toured the West Dallas Police Department. They have a training facility that's top notch down there. And so it's basically a house that they built behind their police department that they use for training. It's just a shell of a house. And it's just really neat. I mean, it has electricity in it. It doesn't have plumbing or anything, so you don't have all that cost. But they just built a house that they train in, and they can change the walls around and do this thing. So I went and toured that yesterday, and we can use it free of charge. Obviously, it takes 4.5 hours to get there, so that's a cost that it's hard to have that justify that cost to send our people down there for training. But it'd be a very good training if we need to do that. So.
You should buy one for here. Heather has a question here. I heard there was a high-speed chase through Cameron this past weekend. Do you know anything about that?
It was a Rusk County case. It started in Rusk County, came through Barron County, was stopped just outside of Cameron. All 3 people in the vehicle were taken into custody. I know we spiked it. I know they ran on the rims for a while. And that's about all I know. I don't know what they were wanted for. They were immediately taken back to the Rusk County Jail. So no injuries. We got 1 flat tire on one of our squads. The spikes broke because he was on his rims. And the rims cut our spikes in half. And so then the spike flew off and hit one of our tires. So we lost 1 tire, but no good guys were hurt, no bad guys were hurt, and 3 bad guys are in custody. So,
well, I'd give you a silver medal for that one because you did get a flat tire on one, and you got some damage to the spike. So you get a silver medal, but you'd still get a medal.
Everything got gold, silver, bronze. Yep,
that's right.
I like that. We're like, you got a gold star today. No, you got a silver star. No bronze star.
No medals, not even stars. You get medals.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we are winning. What?
We're winning.
Yeah, the gold medal as of this morning, it's 20 medals for America, 16 for France, and 12 for Japan so far. Now, we don't have a lot of gold medals, but we do have the most bronze. But hey, it still counts. It's still a medal. So I think we're tied for silver medals, the most bronze, but not doing super great on the golds quite yet. But that's all right. Simone Biles is going to totally carry us when she gets to the finals.
That's right. And then we got the running, and we got Kenny from Rice Lake is running.
Yeah, Kenny. Does that guy have a job somewhere?
No, I think he's just a runner.
Just a runner. But I'm curious, do they get paid when they win some of these events? But my assumption is, and my understanding is, the bulk of their revenue comes from sponsorships and advertisers. That's my understanding.
Yeah, I think he has Nike as a sponsor. I don't know how much they give him. I don't know anything about that, but
we should get Nike as a sponsor.
I should. I should have Mountain Dew as a sponsor. I know that at McDonald's.
Yeah, that's right. So. You should do that for the police department. You know, just like the NBA, they now put a little advertising on their jerseys. So now on your uniforms, just saying, made a little logo on the police cars.
Yeah.
Hey, people may not like it, but it also saves money because it's just saying.
Yeah, I don't think people would care, but if it saved them money, if we really cut their taxes, again, you can't say we're going to do this and not cut taxes. So, when you do that, you have to cut taxes at the same time.
All right. So you're at Milwaukee, but you're speaking of the Milwaukee Police Department. So you're a sheriff in a county. Mm-hmm. First of all, what is the reception when you go down there and it's like, I'm sorry, who are you? Some small little tiny dinky rural northwestern county telling us about leadership. Do you get that response or that reaction at all? Or were you concerned that maybe they viewed you that way?
Sure. I was concerned about it because the Department of Justice had never trained. Most of these trainings involve, the people that I'm going to promote in our department to sergeant attend this first line leadership course. So it's the people like me 15 years ago or 20 years ago that wanted to move up in their department that they train. And it's the Barron PDs and the Cumberland PDs who send their next person that they want to, promote, the number 2 in the department that really doesn't have a rank. There's sheriff's departments that send their, sergeants and who's going to be the next sergeant. So it's usually a broad variety of people and experience. Sometimes it's young people. Sometimes it's, older people that have been in the job 10 or 15 years. Hang on. Have been in the job 10 or 15 years that are now going to get promoted, something like that. So this is the first time they've done strictly one department, because normally you have different policies and procedures and, crime, and because, Cameron doesn't have the same crime that the sheriff's department does. And that's the kind of departments you used to see in these courses. So it was a little bit different. And did I wonder about the reception? I'm like, when I go in and teach these classes, I go in with the attitude, I want to learn from them. I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. I taught some basic leadership things yesterday. On Friday, we teach some basic, this is what happens during a major case. Now with Milwaukee, it's totally different. And we talked a little bit about it yesterday. Is like they have an interview team, they have an evidence team, they have a photograph team. So if you're not on that team, you never photograph a scene. You never, interview a person. You never do this. So it's totally different for big departments. So, but I think it's important for you as a leader to understand the roles that each of these has and understand the importance that each of these has during a major case. It's fun. They're like 100 and some cops short. It was, it wasn't. I
That's an improvement. Last I heard, this is a year ago, they were like 400 down or something nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy how many cops some of these bigger departments are short.
Yeah. But that speaks to percentages. So is that something that you kind of explain to them as well? Because listen, leadership is leadership. Doesn't matter where it's at. CEO of a Fortune 500 company versus you run a local bank. It's leadership, whether you have 6 employees or 20,000. Now, granted, it's a different style, but it's just kind of the way it is. So going to the percentages aspect of it, they may be down 100 employees. You may be down 2. But if you do the math, which obviously I don't know what that math would be. I don't know what the total amount is. But let's say we're down 8%. 8% is 8%. It's just your 8% is larger in terms of total amount. So is that something you kind of tie into this or kind of explain that that's what we're similar. We're different, but we're similar if you just look at the percentages.
100%. I have a drone team here. It's really not a drone team because it's one guy that's really good at using the drone. And we have one drone, so he can call himself a team if he wants to. But we have everybody, all of our people can operate our drone. We have 3 or 4 people that are really good at operating our drone. They have a drone team there. I budget for, let's say I'm going to buy a new drone. I budget for $10,000. They budget for $100,000 because they need to buy 10 drones. Sure. It's the same thing. Their budget is $100 million. Mine's $10 million. So it's the same, again, percentages. We broke that down yesterday and went through some of that in the class. And, but leadership is leadership, 100%. It's how to talk to people. Do you respect people? How do you communicate with people? How do you discipline people? And I've done all of that. And so I guess, I've been doing this job for 17 years now as sheriff, and we're just starting my 17th year. And I've been doing it for, 11 years before that. So I'm at 28 years of law enforcement experience locally. I've done some things, I guess, and I love to talk about it, but I don't go in there as I'm the know-it-all. This is the only way to do it. This is the only way to lead. I lead by example. I like to work the street. I like to go out there and do some things. But you have to let people grow. That's something I'm learning. You have to let people grow into the next position. You have to grow people in your department. So we talked a lot about that. It's interesting. These are the 25 people that are next to be promoted in the Milwaukee Police Department.
Oh, really?
They have to attend this. Yeah. So there's these 25 people are the top 25 people in their department to be promoted. There's 100 people on this list. They take 25 and train them every quarter. And these are the next 25 people that will be supervisors at the Milwaukee Police Department. They have to attend this 2-week course, and they have to attend another 2 weeks.
Now I know why you went down.
Why?
To poach them, because that's what you do. You steal from everybody else's departments. Like 25.
I went to Milwaukee so that the Spooner chief, Mikey, can't be mad at me anymore. I heard Mikey's fully staffed, so I got to get up there and see if he's got any good people. I'm just kidding, Mike. I'm not. Not coming up, Mike. I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
you're right. We did talk about wages, and we talked about budgets, and we talked about some different things down there, and their unions without a contract. I don't think that's healthy for a department. I think cities, we see them, the Minneapolis news more than the Milwaukee news here in Northwest Wisconsin. And, when the Minneapolis PD went through their contract and they got a big raise and people were like, that's too much money. I'm like, they're short cops. What do something has to give on both sides, the police side and the unions or the city side, and that's how these union negotiations work. They're not healthy for a department, but that's how it is. That's what we have to deal with. So you roll with the punches on those things. And, there's always, you try to come to a middle ground where both sides are happy, but not sad. It's tough when it comes
hold on
to
a second. And, I want to talk about that a little later because we have a short show today. But that's interesting what you just said about unions and police. I'm going to write that down. I want to talk to you more about that maybe on next week's show.
Sure.
I really do.
We won't have a show next week, by the way.
Oh,
not that. Hey. Yeah, I'm off next week, so maybe Spooner Health can be on and talk about their fundraiser and where all this money goes. So there, I got an idea for you. I have to be at a training next week at UW Stout. All
right. Well, I'm writing it down because I want to talk. I want to find out more about that. I want to go back though to what you had said about you went down there to learn as well. Mm-hmm. Did that happen? Was there a Q&A session? Where do you learn? Is it by listening to other of the leadership speakers, or is there after this conference happens, everyone kind of mingles and then you kind of pick their brains on things? Where do you learn and what did you learn?
Well, we learned about call volume. I learned about, right now, if we were 2 calls behind, I would probably get off this show and then go handle one of these calls because I don't like being 2 calls deep here. If every one of my people was super busy and there were some calls pending, I'd probably say, Ben, I got to go. There's a call pending. I don't think we should leave the citizens of Barron County.
By the way, real quick, that you also, when you're retired, start working at your local gas station. You need to work at Quick Trip. And not Quick Trip, they actually do a really good job. But there's some other ones, I won't say some of the names. When there's more than 2 people, you get 3 people standing in line, and you see 5 other employees, come on, open up another register. It's a convenience store. Let's go. Just saying. Right. So you'd be really good at that job.
And they kind of giggled when I said, we don't. If we run too deep on calls, and they're like, too deep. If we're 10, not 10 deep, we're having a slow day. I mean, I just can't be 10 calls behind. I don't understand the concept of that. Wow. But these big cities run where their response is, it could be 45 minutes for a cop to get to your house to handle your whatever vandalism complaint. And sometimes they don't even have a response. You take your own picture and send it in, so they put it in a file. I'm not saying that happens in Milwaukee. I'm just saying that's what you learn about. You're like, wow, we're pretty lucky up here. We have the similar resources in Milwaukee PD, not to the degree that they have it. Obviously, they have a lot more trained people. They can handle shootings totally different than we can. They have expertise in all of this, but it's similar. And you feel good about your department, and you're like, wow, I could change that. Maybe there's nothing I learned that I'd change yesterday, except that tell my people, hey, it's a blessing that we're not 10 deep in calls, because that happens. We handle a lot of calls. I mean, sometimes there's departments out there going away from handling certain type of calls, civil calls, bad checks, even some retail thefts. And I just can't imagine not handling a retail theft. I mean, that's up to the business to have better security and all this other things. And I just don't do that.
A couple of things here. Chelsea had said Putnam County has a crazy amount of drones. Going back to what we were talking about, they're cool, very helpful. Gotta check them out at family night. But then the question from Chelsea is, do you prioritize calls based on the needs? How does that work?
Yeah, well, basically, yes. But luckily, we don't have a prioritization for the need to prioritize a call based on needs. But of course, yes, a domestic is going on. We make sure the domestic is secure before we handle somebody ran over your mailbox complaint.
My neighbor's dog is barking, right.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of them, your mailbox is still going to be knocked over if it takes me an hour and a half to get there. No evidence is going to get wrecked.
Not exactly
and things
time
like that.
sensitive. Yeah.
Right. And so we'd handle the domestic first. But yes, I don't like those calls sitting out there for very long. People demand certain things. And again, we're at the place where people can demand that here. And I'm not saying, Hunter, we're not going to handle that call because we're 4 domestics behind and we're not going to get to you till tomorrow. I mean, that just doesn't happen, but it happens other places. And we have to realize how lucky we are that we don't have a lot of crime. We don't have, but there needs, anyway, we can go on and talk about that. But yeah, no, happy to talk about this on another show because I know we both have a 9 o'clock meeting.
Yeah, a call. So that's 2 more other things we'll have to get to. And I wanted to talk about, I took a tour of the jail in Burnett County. I know you've already done that. I went over there, and Tracy Finch, bless her heart, for giving us a tour. I took another board supervisor with me, actually. I went just from a business standpoint, but we have a jail project coming up, it looks like anyway, or potential in Washburn. So I want to see their jail. I want to talk about that, but I will just quickly say, holy cow, that's a lot more space and bigger than I thought it was going to be when I walked in.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Job of maximizing their space, and it's a great opportunity. So what time do we start tomorrow? Did you cover that?
So it'll be at 12. Oh, here's the weather forecast from our official weatherman, Dirk Miller. A chance of a few morning showers and storms. That'd be today. Otherwise, mostly sunny this afternoon. Highs 80, 85, muggy. Warmer and muggy
for the race.
What race?
There's a big race tonight. They give away like $30,000 at the racetrack tonight. It's called the Little Dream
that's what
race.
You were talking about.
Yeah, this race at the racetrack. And so a lot of people go out there tonight. I'm going to try to run out there myself tonight as the sheriff. And it's a big crowd. It's a big night. It's usually the same night as National Night Out, which is next Tuesday. So make sure everybody goes to their National Night Out locations. Sure. We have lots in Barron County, but there's National Night Out is next week. So make sure everybody goes to that. So,
all right.
But yeah,
so
looks
we're
like
we're doing our Spooner Health golf outing, which we do every year. It'll be my Uncle Mike. He came up from Chicago, and my dad, and then former Spooner Chief Bobby Andrea, and you, and then I'll go because Uncle Mike was kind of thrown in at the last minute, but I still have that self-diagnosed tennis elbow for the last 5 months, so I can't really grip a club. I should probably go in and figure out what it is. I don't know. If it still hurts in another 5 months, maybe I'll go in. But
maybe there'll be a nurse there tomorrow from Spooner Health. And
wouldn't that be nice? And also, could you check out this mole? Right. All right, so here's the weather for tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies, very warm and muggy. Oh, another warm muggy. Might make a run for 90. Will depend on how fast the next system moves in. Elevated smoke. We have too hot to golf. I agree. Showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night. See, that's interesting, tomorrow night, because I checked the weather on AccuWeather, which I think Accu is short for accurate, which I've discovered AccuWeather is very long on weather and short on accuracy, which is why I only listen to Dirk. Because yesterday it said 99% chance of rain Wednesday and isolated thunderstorms and tornadoes. This morning it says no rain, beautiful day. What? What's going on? So, all right, we'll have to pay attention to that. Thursday, showers, thunderstorms possible in the afternoon. So looks like there's some with a muggy temps. Apparently, just be careful. There could be chance for some bad storms coming through. Temps cooling off Sunday.
We got to get a fan for our cart tomorrow.
Yeah. So I'm going to be getting. That's awesome. Yeah, it's not his fault. I don't like your forecast for weather. That's great. No, so I'll be getting an extra cart. So we'll have 3 carts. And I'll just, I don't know, drive around and make fun of you guys. Maybe we'll alternate shots or something. I don't know if that's allowed, but whatever. We're giving $1,000 to sponsor this dumb thing. We should be able to do every other shot. I mean, it's best ball for crying out loud. We don't take it seriously.
That's right. We won't be at the running, I know that.
No, we won't. Unless Uncle Mike is a ringer. It's going to be a bad ending for us. All right, so you have a lot of things coming up this week then. It sounds like. Anything else that you want to make sure that we touch on before we wrap this up?
No, I just learned I'll be at a training next Tuesday, so we'll have to maybe Mike Schaefer can fill it and talk about the Spooner Golf Tournament.
So no show next week. I'll see you tomorrow.
Anyway.
Tomorrow at Spooner Golf at It starts at 1, so be there no later than 12:45, but probably 12:30 because we also get like a little lunch thing or something.
Yep.
So, yeah, other than that.
I'll be.
And I got some things written down for some future shows. I want to talk more about what you said about unions and a little bit more about call stuff. That's going to be great.
Right.
So, awesome.
Perfect.
Thanks so much, man.
You bet.
All right, for Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden. And you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience as locally owned and operated business, provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen. Apparently, we're not doing a show next week. I still might do a show and have a different guest. I don't know, someone filling in for Fitzy. I don't know. Stay tuned to our website. We'll announce that on next Monday, regardless of what we're doing. So until then, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.